Yeah, blame it on the refs for Draymond can scream at him all game long, and God forbid we tee up Draymond Green, and then he gets tangled up.
But the double tech had nothing to do with anything that Draymond had done prior in the game.
No,
the double tech,
you get ejected because you already have a technical foul.
I know, but even you, like I know you know this. We talked about it before the show. Like the double tech is a weird deal. Like I don't really understand it.
It's like offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties in the NFL.
You've got these massive human beings with emotion dripping all over the place, and you're out there for 3 hours pushing and shoving with each other, and you can't have like a little chest-to-chest moment where they like, hey, get off me. No, you get off me.
Exactly. That was a nothing.
And then we move down to the other end of the court. Like, that's a nothing. You don't need to address that.
My problem with what happened with the double technical is that we go to New York to adjudicate it because the 3 refs, the 2 men, and the very good underrated female ref, whose name escapes me right now, they're the ones on the floor. And if they are the ones on the floor who determine that it's a double technical, I would be able to accept that a little bit more easily, Mark, because they're the ones who understand the tenor and the emotion and the flow of the game. Because if you look at that play, when Draymond gets ejected, 2 players got tangled up, big deal. 2 physical players, 2 aggressive players. They get tangled up, they come together, and that was it. There was no push. There was no finger point. There was no hold me back, hold me back. That was a big nothing. But when you go to New York and somebody's sitting there sipping on an iced mocha latte, looks at it and goes, yeah, it's double text.
Yeah,
that's the part that bothers me.
But Steve Kerr, who, by the way, will let you hear what he had to say about it after the game, I thought this was really important because whether you're in New York or on the floor, I think it is part of the referee's job to know the situation. You need to have awareness to realize even if that previous technical was totally awful and Draymond's fault, which I did not think last night, but whatever, even if that technical was totally that person's fault, you have to have the awareness to say, we got a close game, it's the 4th quarter, are we throwing out a key player because 2 guys got tangled up for a second? You have to have that awareness.
Right.
Here's Steve Kerr on the technical foul.
No, he's never gone over. He knows where the line is. I didn't really see what happened at the end when, was it he and Stewart got into it? In my mind, it's like, do we have to call a double technical and eject a guy from the game because 2 guys in a really competitive game in the most competitive basketball league on earth? Or, oh my, who knew they're going to actually get a little upset with each other? Like, this is the game. It's what people pay to see, like competition at its highest form. So to come out of the timeout, we've already drawn up our play. Draymond's on the floor, and then we got inbound the ball, and they tell us Draymond's been ejected. That's a tough one. I haven't experienced that before, and I prefer in those situations where the officials have the awareness that somebody's got a tee. We're not going to kick them out because 2 guys get into a little yelling match or whatever it was. If it's earned, it's earned. And maybe I'm totally wrong. If I'm wrong, then that's my fault. But I don't really believe there should be double technicals that lead to an ejection.
Let me help you out, Steve. You're not wrong. Yeah, they have to have that awareness. That, to me, that's part of the job.
Well, and
that's
also,
part of the job.
And that's New York. And I don't know if New York is looking at it. I don't know if they're looking at the box score. And honestly, they're not going to look at a situation like that, what happened, and say, well, Draymond's already got a technical foul, so we can't call double technicals on this because we don't want him to be ejected. They don't do that.
They're talking to each other. They've got it. But
they don't do that.
They have to.
But that's not the way you officiate, Mark. That's not the way you do it.
Steve Kerr is saying it is.
Well, you look at an incident in New York, and you see what you see, and if you think that warrants double technicals, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I don't like the fact. And again, if this happened with Monty Irvin and his crew locally, I think that they separate the players, they all huddle up, they get together, and they have the awareness. They've been refereeing the game. They know that Draymond Green already has a technical foul. And at that point, maybe they say, let's just go ahead and let this one go.